So how special was your tip-off dinner last night? How much fun was it?
It's just, I think the tip-off dinner reflects the growth of the program in a lot of ways. I've got such a great staff. All those guys are all first team, all conference guys. The job that Lauren does with her staff of volunteers to go over and beyond. It's great for our kids to see it too. They wear nice suits and ties and everybody sees them and it's about them. You can never lose sight of this entire experience that we have. It is about these kids and their growth, and when they see an event that's so first class and done in such a classy manner, it makes them feel good about being here and being part of this program.
Next question, James Mueller from the Cougar. James, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Kelvin, I was just wondering, what is it like, being able to play a team like Montana Tech with your history, just being a school, where you sort of got your coaching career started? What's it like, opening up an exhibition game against them?
Well, just, you guys will do a good job of this, but most people have to be educated on why we're playing an NAIA school or Division II school or Division III school. But obviously, those are the only schools you're allowed to play if you're going to play an exhibition game. You can play 2 scrimmages, you can play 2 exhibitions, or you can play a combination thereof. But I just like giving back. They took a chance on a guy that, in the big scheme of things, probably didn't deserve it. But kind of shows you where they were with their program at the time. They didn't have anything to lose giving it to me. I think I was the 6th coach in 3 years. I was 24 when the season started. I think I turned 25 October. So I was 25 when I took over the interim role in the December, which ironically was 40 years ago. So I still remember it, which I think is a good thing. At my age, I still remember that. Good people. Some of the people that were, when I was there, one of my favorite players of all time is the vice president of development. Matter of fact, he just secured a $7 million gift for the university. He spends a lot of time here in Houston, Joe McClafferty. I recruited Joe out of Butte Central High School. Played for me for 4 years, went through a couple of ACLs, broken arms, all that stuff. And he still works at the university. He's been an athletic director. But, I just think it's important to give back to people that's helped you. Next year we're going to play UNC Pembroke, where I graduated from. So if you're going to play these schools, I think it's important to reach back and get back to the people that's helped get you where you are.
We'll go to Dayon Dunlap with Apollo Houston. Dayon, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Coach Sampson, how you doing?
Hey, what's good, Dayon?
And much from practices and the scrimmages that you had, what have you seen from your team that you liked from the way they played in practices so far?
What I like, we're so new. Our newness is real. Everybody wants to focus on the guys coming back. But we're plugging in guys that's never played a game here. So they don't know how to take the shortcuts yet. They don't know how to game our stuff. It'll take a while. We need to play some games. Yesterday was the first day I said that, we need to play somebody else. We had a scrimmage. Couple weeks ago, and that was good. But now we've got back to, I think this is our 24th practice today or 25, something like that. And I'm not saying it becomes counterproductive, but if Tajay gets the ball in this area, they know what he's going to do. If Fabian gets it here, they know what he's going to do. Kyler here's what Kyler does. And they see it every day. You can't change your game. I want our guys to focus on what they do good. Game time's not a time to focus on your strengths, focus on your weaknesses. You focus on your strengths. So, but I like our willingness to share the ball. I don't think this team is selfish at all, but you never know until the lights come on. We'll see. They try hard. Reggie and Fabian, they seem to be our identity guys. This time last year, before you guys ever saw us, I saw what Justin Gorham was doing. You could tell that we were getting our identity from him. And then we went over to Fort Worth to play Texas Tech in November. That was just an extension of our practices. The way we played in that game was the way we practiced. But last year's team didn't have any new players. Reggie came off the bench and Tremont, but everybody else was guys had been here, so they know this. So this team is nowhere near at the level that team was at the same time. This team's so far behind, but through no fault of their own. You don't have a team like we did last year and then start there and go forward. You go backwards and try to move up. So the only way we're going to be able to evaluate is get the games. Last year we opened up with Lamar, Boise State, Texas Tech, South Carolina. Once we played our first game, I thought we would win all those games if we just continued along the path we were on in practice. Whereas this year, there's some hesitation, not from a negative standpoint, just because I've never seen a lot of these kids play with us. So I just got to see.
Thank you. We'll go to Joseph Duarte from the Chronicle. Joseph, please go ahead.
Good morning, Kelvin.
Good morning, Joseph.
Just wanted to check on some guys. How's J1 doing, and do you expect to have everybody else available, for Saturday or the Tuesday opener?
I'll see today. I think there's a good chance he will not play. Tremont's left shoulder has been bothering him. May hold him out too, which gives us an opportunity to get some other guys minutes and let them, because we have so many guys playing their first game ever at the University of Houston. I know what Tremont can do. I know what J1 is capable of, but Tajay Moore probably needs this scrimmage a little more than Tremont does. Kyler, this is their first time running our stuff. They've never run our stuff before. But tomorrow's Friday. Actually, I'll see tomorrow. J1 practiced some yesterday, but he was gimpy. Tremont's shoulder, we actually held Tremont out yesterday. But we'll see going forward. If I don't think that they're ready to go tomorrow, then I probably won't let them play Saturday.
Thank you, Joseph. We'll go back to James Mueller with Cougar. James, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Kelvin, I remember after the scrimmage Saturday, you talked about sort of just some of the progress you've seen with Reggie. And when I talked to him, he talked about, expanding his range and stuff like that. Can you just talk about, the growth overall you've seen and what type of player you expect, in year two with the program that Reggie can bring?
Yeah, Reggie's one of those dudes that's got a little mud in his blood. There's versus kids that got sugar in their veins. Reggie's got some mud in his blood. Tough dude, But we got to channel his aggressiveness into more basketball IQ. Unnecessary fouls, banging guys because he's taking the wrong angle on a pick and roll coverage call. He's got to get better at that. But I'd rather have a kid that I have to turn him down rather than have to constantly tune him up. Reggie's a competitor. He is a tough kid. We've had a lot of tough kids come through here. But Reggie, this program's such a great fit for him. And I told him that when we were recruiting, he fits us. And that's a big part of why kids should choose schools. Go where they fit you. Go and choose the name of a school. Choose a coaching staff. The coaching staff will determine how you're going to play, not the name of a school. Buildings don't win games. players and coaching staffs do. And Reggie's a product of that. But yeah, Reggie was shooting over 70% from the free throw line last year. And when he got to where he was doing that, I don't remember where he finished, but at one point he was up over 70. If you can make free throws, then you should be allowed to shoot open jump shots. And Casey Beard, who works with our fives a lot, Casey's done a really nice job of developing that part of Reggie's game.
All right, thank you. Are there any more questions for Coach Sampson? I don't see any hands raised. Everybody good? Joseph Duarte again with Chronicle. Go ahead, Joseph.
Kelvin, as you've had Kyler Edwards now and had him in the scrimmage and stuff, is he sort of coming in? You kind of knew what you had, but is he on the offensive end? Has he sort of shown capability there as you plug him into maybe your number 2 or 3 types? Excuse me, to one of your top 2 scorers.
Could. We've got 4. I think our, Marcus and Fabian, Tremont, Kyler, those. I think our top 2 or 3 scorers will probably come out of that group, and then we got some wild cards. Josh Carlton on certain nights, he's going to score the ball well for us. I think he's the best low post scorer we've had, guy we can play through. But that's not every night. He's not an every night guy because of who we play and how they play. A lot of teams play zones. Well, he's probably not going to touch it against zone as much as he would against man. But Kyler has made steady progress, Joseph. He's a better player today or yesterday than he was, for instance, going into the scrimmage. I think the more he's around us, I try to make sure that Marcus, Kyler, and Fabian, those 3 especially, I try to keep them on one team as much as I can. Tremont is right there with them. Tajay. I'm anxious. I'm excited to watch these kids play in a game. I knew exactly what I had in Dejan Giroux and Quentin Grimes and Bryson and Justin and Marcus, Reggie. Those guys last year, they didn't fit early, but in practice. But the games helped us fit. The games helped us fit together because we were able to make adjustments, see how teams were going to play them, and say, okay, when they do this, we're going to do this. In practice, you can't do that. You have to actually have somebody do something against you haven't seen, and that's where you see growth. Teams have to. This is a growth period. There's probably 300 plus coaches right now anxious to see how the new guys fit in with their new team. So I'm anxious to see. I think Kyler's going to have a good year, though. He's a good player. He really is. Kyler he has a very mature game. He's you kind of know what you're going to get there.
We'll go back to Dayon Dunlap, please. Dayon, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Sampson, kind of just piggyback right off you what you just said. How are the freshmen? How have they grown throughout practicing this time? And do you expect any freshmen to kind of have an impact similar to Tremont had? Fabian had his freshman year. Marcus, over a couple of years, you had different freshmen who made an impact.
Yeah.
How have they?
No, you're right. Well, Nate Hinton played a lot of minutes as a freshman. Caleb Mills played a lot of minutes as a freshman. Tremont. We have two different freshman classes though, Dayon. We have Jaywan Roberts, Jamal Shedd, Kieran Powell, Tremont Mark freshman class. And then we have the real freshman class with Robbie, Javier, and Ramon. It's a long year. You're not quite sure. I don't have any of those new freshmen. The real freshmen penciled in as a role that Tremont had because we have so many older guys in front of them. You know, Tremon's role got defined when Caleb left. That really helped Tremont. You know, it helped more than anything put everybody in the right category. And that's when we took off. But this year's team, you think about our top 5 guards right now would be Marcus, a veteran, Tremont, second year, Kyler, first year. You know, he's a veteran, but he's in his first year here. Tajay, veteran, but first year, and then Jamal, a freshman. So technically, to answer your question, maybe Jamal Shed, but not the 3 new freshmen right now. But they got to keep working, got to be ready to play. You know, we're all all teams are a sprained ankle away from mediocrity. So you just got to be ready.
Thank you, Dan. We'll go back to Joseph Duarte with the Chronicle. Joseph, go ahead.
Kelvin, with last year's COVID year and knowing that it was kind of going to be a bonus year, does that impact how you handle somebody like Kieran Powell moving forward in terms of how much you work him? I don't know if it's on the table where he hasn't lost a year. So are there things that you can do with a guy like that who didn't play last year or didn't play much?
Yeah, I can see a lot of improvement actually in Kieran. It's kind of apropos that you asked that question today because he probably had the best practice he's ever had here yesterday. But how that equates to minutes, I don't know. I'm pretty good at listening to the game. The game will usually tell you what to do. So I just, I react to that. I don't go into the games with concrete ways I'm going to do certain things. Now there are certain things, obviously, we have our core value, our culture things we want to be good at. But as far as who plays and who doesn't play, I just watch the guys that are playing. He's got guys in front of him. Josh Carlton's in front of him, Reggie. Those are two older guys. Keon's still a freshman. Javier Francis is a freshman. The young guys represent our future. I'm not sure they represent our present.
We'll go back to James Bigger. James, go ahead.
Yeah, just to clarify on Tremont, I know he told us Saturday that he had been dealing with some shoulder issues over the offseason and changed his shooting form a little bit. Is that the same shoulder that he's been dealing with, or is this something new that just recently came up?
No, that's right.
Okay, thanks.